25 Courtside Report. I'm Alexis Morgan.
And I'm Chris Manning.
And today we are joined by Jonathan Smith, principal producer for NBA 2K25 My Team. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thanks, Alexis. I'm so excited to finally talk about my team.
One of the first pieces of exciting news that we heard is the auction house is returning.
Start off with that.
The community was very clear about what they wanted to see in NBA 2K25's My Team, and it has returned. But what is new this year is that it's a more compact experience. It's all in one menu. It's a lot smoother, it's a lot more streamlined, and it's a lot better.
What can players expect when they jump into My Team for the first time?
You'll select your starter kit, and you'll get the most powerful cards we've ever included in a starter kit. You get to select 2 current stars and an NBA legend. These are free agent cards that are going to last a lot longer than the typical 5 games. This is the most powerful base we've ever had for new My Teams. After you finish your starter kit, you select your free agent cards. You'll be able to choose what kind of experience level you are. You can either go over to Learn 2K and brush up on the basics. You can be new to My Team, and we'll show you everything there is to know, or you can be a returning player, so you can get started immediately. On the Home tab, you can jump right into a game immediately. Going into the challenges, this menu is our home of agendas and challenge games all merged together. One-stop shop for all of the live content that goes into My Team. Also on the home page, you'll see your progress in My Team Rep. The Training Hub includes tips and tricks videos, but also freestyle, practice plays, and scrimmages make their way into My Team for the first time. And the Home tab is also our place to display whatever events are going on right now. The new Play tab is where you go to compete. All the game modes are right there, descriptions on everything. You got the pack market, you got the auction house, and you have the new exchange with new improvements there as well. And of course, you have locker codes. Then after that, we have the Manage tab. This is where you're setting up your lineups, editing your players, making shoes with some new takeover boost cards. The first time ever we've been waiting to be able to customize takeovers, and you can take whatever takeover you want and put it onto this player.
What would you say the biggest upgrade is to My Team in NBA 2K25?
Park gameplay is coming to My Team, and it is set in the perfect location. We're up in the rooftop in NBA 2K16's Rivet City My Park Championship Park. We got all of the amazing parts of this court. We're up in the sky. The rooftop court's back. We have the glass walkways. And most importantly to me, the chain nets are back. So for the first time, you're finally playing with NBA players in a park setting. In Triple Threat Park, we have 2 main game modes. 1, team control, just like Triple Threat Online. You control all 3 players of your team, and you're competing against one other player. We also have co-op. This is the traditional park experience, 6 NBA players. You're controlling your 1 player, and you're just trying to get that win.
How do you get to Triple Threat Park?
Well, there's 2 ways. You can either go through the city and walk right up to our building entrance, or it's accessible right from My Team's
It's harder to
What are we playing for in Triple Threat Park?
Triple Threat Park is a new place to take on the competition and win. We have a reward every day available for 1 win, 3 wins in a row, or 5 wins in a row.
What if all 3 of us want to play as NBA 2K25 cover star Jason Tatum?
So we do have a priority system for when you're playing on a co-op court. Whoever's got the highest rep, they will have the top priority. We also have a full My Team store. This is a one-stop shop for many of the stores from the city. The best part is the showcase spot, the big billboard that everyone can see from anywhere in the park. You can take control of it. You can open up packs on the billboard and everyone will see what you get. And if you pull a good card, fireworks erupt from the entire park. It is spectacular. It is one of my favorite things to bring into Triple Threat Park this year.
What can you tell us about Breakout in NBA 2K25?
Breakout is our new single-player mode. This is a new run-based mode. You start off in the middle of a game board. All the prizes are on the outside of the board, and your goal is to get there. Every run in Breakout is different. You choose your path to the outside of the board. You're choosing everything from era and decade teams, all-time teams, and everything in between. You're choosing your game modes, triple threat, clutch time, full lineup games. When you start a run in Breakout, you can choose to have that board be only triple threat and only clutch time games if you want. This is an ever evolving experience.
What's new for the competitive players in My Team?
So new this year is Showdown. It's the evolution of Unlimited. Since the best compete here, the best rewards are here. Every week, you can pick between 3 rewards. So even though you're progressing by wins, losses, yeah, they do count, they do matter, but you'll never rank down a tier during a season. This year, you can change your offensive and defensive settings, and you can customize your on-the-fly lineups. The leaderboard now only shows Tier 1 versus Tier 1 games. So truly, the best of the best will be featured in the Showdown leaderboard. King of the Court is our new weekend competitive event. This is where the best of the best compete for the elite prizes in my team. Think Showdown, but another level up. You're still competing with your best 13-player lineup that you can put together.
So if you're the best player in my team, what do you earn?
Well, you get exclusive stuff, things that you can only get from King of the Court and being #1 overall, and also 1 million VC every week on the line. And additionally, like I said before with Triple Threat Park, your accomplishments in Showdown and King of the Court appear right there underneath your feet so you can show off to everyone that you're the king.
We have a lot in my team this year. Triple Threat Park, the auction house is back. New competitive modes and a new single-player experience. I know the fans are excited for my team this year.
There's so much to be excited for. So excited to take all the feedback we got over the past year and deliver my team 2K25 like this.
Thank you so much, John, for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And we'll see all of you in our next NBA 2K25 Courtside Report.
Which is the last one. Well, it's not going to be the last one, but the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know y'all heard that. And I'm excited just like y'all. This is one of the biggest revamped, refreshed, and rebooted my teams. Man, I'm super excited for it, Evan. I know you got some more details for us. Can you break it down, Evan? Because I know the people in the chat is excited to hear this in more detail.
Let's do it. So as always, we're going to go through the full courtside report together. You heard all the major announcements from John in the interview, but especially for this blog from my team, we want to go over it all with you again so you hear it a second time because there's a lot to unpack. So even though you're hearing it a second time, I'm sure you're going to get more details out of it that we want to make sure you don't miss. Now, before we get into it, remember again that my team is on both new gen and current gen versions of NBA 2K25. But whenever we say something is only on new gen, we mean the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC versions.
We get it.
This video that you just watched and the full blog that we're about to go through are going to be on the NBA 2K website right after this show. So if you miss something we say, you can go back and read it as many times as you need. Now, Stacks, did I hear correctly? The auction house again?
Evan, you heard it correctly. The auction house is back, man. Evan, I've been having people hit me up over and over and over again asking about this auction house, and I've been radio silent. But now I can officially say the words, the auction house is back. It's amazing, man. I'm happy. I'm excited.
Same here. I think in our Discord questions channel, back when it was gameplay questions, my player, my career questions, I just kept seeing, is the auction house going to be back? Is the auction house going to be back? So now you've heard it 3 times. You've heard it once earlier, once from John, and once from us. You've heard it 3 times. We can't say officially the auction house is back in NBA 2K25. Now, for those of you who just started playing my team in the past year and haven't seen the auction house before, it's a place where you can auction off or acquire cards using my team points, aka MTP or MT as our community likes to call it. Now, if you're familiar with how it used to work, there has been some quality of life improvements in 2K25 to the auction house menu, which is now streamlined so you can search for cards, buy and sell, all in one place. Your auctions menu actually is going to have limited space, and to unlock more space, you'll want to earn more My Team rep. You heard John mention that My Team is now getting a new rep system with perks and rewards throughout the mode. And rep is year-long and doesn't reset with seasons. So if you play My Career, you're probably familiar with how rep works, but we'll talk more about rep in My Team in just a little bit. Now, this next part we want to make sure is very clear so that there is no confusion or question about it. So focus and listen in closely to this part. I'm going to read this part straight from the blog. To ensure a level playing field, the returning auction house has a zero-tolerance policy on activity detrimental to the health of the mode. All transactions will go through a verification process to make sure the auction house stays fun and fair for everyone in the community. The love for the My Team auction house is clear, and we're excited for its return. Now, to translate that for you all, what that means is, we've heard for months and months now how much you want the auction house, and our dev team did an awesome job bringing it back. They made it happen, so please, don't even try to do anything against the terms of service with the auction house. Hold yourselves and hold each other accountable because there will be a zero-tolerance policy.
Zero tolerance, okay? You have been warned. We let you know up front. Zero tolerance means exactly what it says. Zero tolerance. So be on your best behavior. Like Evan said, hold each other accountable because we want to continue to do cool things like this year after year. But moving forward, let's talk about the second most exciting thing about my team this year. The Triple Threat Park 2K16 Rivet City. I see Evan got the shirt on. That was low-key a little surprise right there. Evan threw a little Easter egg in there for y'all. Let's talk about it a little bit.
For the city though.
Yep, it was the right day to bring this shirt back. But yeah, so on new gen, so PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, the new home for Triple Threat online and co-op games is called the Triple Threat Park. And as John mentioned, as Stax mentioned just now, this is a faithful remaster of NBA 2K16's Rivet City Championship My Park, which is one of the most popular parks ever in NBA 2K history. Now, just like the original, there are 9 courts, and 4 of these courts are for 2-player 3v3 games, where each person controls a 3-card lineup. That's more like regular Triple Threat Online. Then the other 5 courts here are for 6-player 3v3 co-op games, where each person controls 1 card, just like co-op. And similar to some of the courts in the city, 2 of these 5 courts are going to be no squads only courts. You also heard John talk about the showcase spot, but the part I really want to help you all visualize is how it all works when you're in the Triple Threat Park. So you're going to be controlling your My Player, just like you would in the city, and that means your My Player's clothes and customizations and apparel do carry over across both My Career and My Team now, like the apparel you can earn from season rewards. Once you walk up to a court's Got Next spot, what happens is your My Player is going to walk onto the court, present your My Team cards, whether you're doing 1 or 3, which then reveal the NBA players that you're going to be controlling. We've often seen people asking for a way to play with NBA players in true park games, and now you can. On top of that, in Triple Threat Park, there's win streak rewards, challenges, and limited time events. So there's going to be a lot going on here, all in this beautiful throwback to 2K16.
Man, oh man, that Rivet City. Hey, I might have to go out there day 1 just to get the vibes back. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of revive that feeling in my body, man. Evan, I'm excited for that. Shout out to the dev team for bringing back that court. It's going to be super fire. But anyway, let's go to Breakout. Let's talk about Breakout a little bit more. We heard John speak about it. Now, Evan, let's get into some details.
Yep, so Breakout is a brand new take on how single player works in My Team. The explanation that helped me visualize it a lot, on top of what you're going to see on your screen, is that it's like a game board, and you start in the middle spot. This is called Breakout City, and from the middle spot, you'll be surrounded by various arenas that represent the game modes, the eras, and the opponents that you could choose to compete against. That could be current NBA teams, historic teams back in the 90s era, theme teams, and more. Now, your ultimate goal is to break out of the game board and earn your reward. Remember, you're starting in the middle. And at each spot, in the direction you can go, you can preview what type of game you're going to play, whether that's a triple threat game, a clutch time game, or a shortened 13-card full lineup game. Whichever direction you choose, if you win, you're going to earn prize points and move in that direction on the board. These prize points are important because they unlock the reward spaces on the board, and the spaces with the best rewards require more prize points before you can play those games and attempt to win. As John said, Breakout is a run-based game. So you have to choose your opponents and games and which direction you go wisely, because if you lose 3 times in a run, you have to start all the way over from the middle. And as you move farther and farther away from the center spot, the difficulty of the games goes up. Once you reach the outer edge of the board, you will face off against a final gatekeeper team. And these gatekeeper teams are these ultimate opponents that stand between you and your reward. One thing to note here is that with Breakout, the standalone triple threat and clutch time modes have been retired and merged into this brand new way to play single player in My Team. But if you're a fan of just triple threat, you don't want to play clutch time at all or full lineup games at all, you do have the choice to pick Breakout boards that exclusively contain triple threat or clutch time games. One more special note that our dev team shared in the blog that we want to make sure you all will hear is both triple threat and clutch time games are now played in the House of Clutch Arena. And that means, for triple threat, many of you will be very happy to hear, that the fans are going to be behind the barriers, away from the action and not running onto the court, getting in your way. We've seen that called out on the feedback. And we've seen that also in the logo gauntlet. We've seen some people to mention that. So the fans are going to be behind the barriers, away from the action, and aren't going to be getting in your way at all.
Sounds amazing. This is very interesting, very creative from the dev team, man. Breakout sounds amazing. I can't wait to actually be in it. And that goalkeeper kind of scared me a little bit, Evan, when you said that that final goalkeeper gonna be there waiting for me. I got a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. But let's keep it moving. Let's get back to multiplayer. John mentioned Showdown. What are the competitive modes like this year, Evan? Let's talk about those.
Yeah, so Showdown replaces Unlimited, as John mentioned, and it's one of the new competitive full lineup multiplayer modes. So these games are played on shorter 4-minute quarters, and in Showdown, there's 15 tiers of progression that as you win, you try to get promoted up the 15 tiers. And as an extra incentive for winning, not that you needed more incentive by playing Showdown, but you want to win, if you go on a win streak, you'll actually earn extra progression up that ladder of 15 tiers. However, losses will count against you, but as John mentioned, once you are promoted to a higher tier, you cannot drop back down to the previous tier during that same season. So there's some checkpoints built in so that you can't go all the way up and then drop all the way back down. Once you're promoted up a tier, you can't drop back down during that same season. Every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is when our My Team content usually refreshes on Fridays, if you have gotten enough wins in the last week, you will be able to choose a reward group based on the tier you finished in. These are weekly rewards. Then there are also rewards that are refreshed each season that can be earned immediately as you reach those milestones. And at the end of each season, you will drop a number of tiers based on where you ended, which offers you a fresh challenge the next season without starting totally from scratch. Now, Showdown is a competitive mode. It's all about winning. So another thing John mentioned that I think is really cool is that the Showdown leaderboard only considers games played between Tier 1 players. This was a way to make sure that the leaderboard is an accurate representation of who the best players are in My Team. And on top of that, your tiers also come into play for matchmaking. So that prioritizes matching you up with opponents at a similar tier to help ensure more fair matchups.
Evan, man, I'm excited, man. Am I going to see you on that leaderboard, Evan?
I guarantee you I will not be there. I do not think I'm going to make my way up to Tier 1. I will do my best, but you will probably find me in Breakout a lot more than you will in Showdown. But you never know. Maybe I'll get better this year. I know you'll be up there.
We need you out there, man. We need you out there. I want to see Evan on that leaderboard at least once this year. We got to make sure Evan get deep into some My Team, the comp side of My Team a little bit. But a couple weeks ago, we announced a new King of the Court mode, and now we finally heard what it is. Evan, I'm pretty sure you got more details. Mr. Evan GPT, you know everything. You got everything in your brain. The cut is fresh. I just got to shout out your haircut.
My brain and in the blog. So remember, if you need more details after we're done here, you can go read again in the blog. But as John mentioned, King of the Court is a weekend competitive event. I'm actually surprised when we announced that King of the Court was going to be a new mode this year. Not that many people kind of guessed this or theorized this, but anyways, it's a weekend competitive event, and these are going to be held every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time, starting on September 14th. I know many of our My Team veterans out there have fond memories of playing competitive games on the weekends, so it's back here in 2K25. Now, the reason it's not on the first Saturday after 2K25 comes out is you have to qualify in the week prior to each King of the Court by meeting certain thresholds in either the new Showdown or Triple Threat Park modes that we just talked about. And that's an example is hitting a target number of wins during that week. However, once you're at a higher enough rep tier, which we'll also talk about in a second, you'll earn automatic qualification and don't need to re-qualify for every weekend's King of the Court. You'll be automatically in. In the actual King of the Court, you'll be playing full lineup games, and you'll earn a game score based on your performance. If you lose 3 games, your time in that Saturday's King of the Court is unfortunately finished. At the end of the event, you'll be ranked amongst all the competitors in groups representing the top 50%, top 10%, top 1%, and the ultimate #1 King of the Court. The group you finish in there determines which tiers of rewards you receive that weekend, and those rewards are refreshed every week, including some of the best rewards in My Team. You may have heard John say it, but each weekend's King of the Court, the person that finishes #1, each weekend's King of the Court gets 1 million VC. So King of the Court is going to be where the best of the best in my team will be competing every weekend for some of the best prizes.
Evan, did I just hear correctly? 1 million VC, is that what you said?
Yep, 1 million VC. Are we going to see you in the King of the Court stacks?
Yeah. That just got me out there. That just got me excited, man. I need that 1 million VC. Y'all already know, man. I be entering the giveaways when we do giveaways live on stream, just like y'all. I need this. I need parts of that. I need to know how I'm gonna get up in there, get that 1 million VC. If you locked into my team, hit me up because I'm gonna need some pointers. I'm gonna need some tips. Anyway, so we got Triple Threat Park, Breakdown, Showdown, and King of the Court. So many options to play. And you and both John both mentioned that my team rep a few times. My team rep. We got rep at my team. Do you have any more details?
Might translate to the city. This is important, chat.
Yep. So we got all the details here. This year, a rep system is coming to my team. Now, those of you, as I mentioned earlier, who've played my career are probably familiar with what rep is and how it works. But for those of you who are not familiar, rep is a year-long progression system. So it's not like season levels that resets every 6 weeks. Rep is a year-long progression. And in my team, there are 11 rep levels, each represented by gem colors in my team. So you'll start at bronze and work your way up to dark matter. And then there's also a leaderboard of the top 10 rep players who are designated with invincible logos. And the #1 overall person has a GOAT logo. You might be asking, how do I get rep? So rep is earned by completing games and challenges, and like my career, there will be limited time double rep events as well. We're not going to share the full list of rep rewards today, but some of the ones mentioned in the blog are unlocking access to the auction house, increasing your auctions capacity to hold more cards, as we mentioned earlier, some special rewards and community favorites like the Fireball and the My Team Coliseum arena that we introduced this past year in 2K24, some free packs in the pack market, and if you reach the Dark Matter rep tier, you will get an exclusive GOAT Jason Tatum card. So there is already going to be a GOAT Jason Tatum card there. Now, I don't think most people are going to hit GOAT tier, a Dark Matter tier that quickly, but that GOAT Jason Tatum card is there waiting for you all. On top of that, thinking far ahead to the end of next July, so 2025, our most dedicated players at Invincible or GOAT will receive the ultimate rewards related to NBA 2K26's My Team mode. 2K26, not 2K25. We're not going to talk about that just yet, so stay tuned for more details later in the year.
Yo, my team got a lot of heat, Evan. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff I'm hearing, I'm getting so excited. I'm ready to hop on my team right now. This is crazy. Imagine can you imagine being the #1 rep in my team, the only person in the game with the GOAT logo?
Yep, you get a GOAT logo.
That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. So I saw with all these changes in my team, John said the menus have been revamped a little bit. I told y'all, revamped, reworked, okay, refreshed. He said they have been revamped a little bit. Where's everything now? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so let's actually first rewind all the way back to the first time you enter my team in 2K25, because there's a brand new introductory experience that John showed you the video that we're going to slow down for you now. The first step, as always, is opening your starter kit. And in these, you can now choose 2 diamond rated free agent cards that last.
No rep, dog. This shit over with, gang. I'm gonna get this video for y'all boys, man. If y'all enjoy this type of content, you should hit that like button, that sub button. I can't wait for the part next week, dog. But I've heard enough. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We'll be live streaming later, man. Y'all tune in. But love y'all boys, man. Get this uploaded. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all boys.